Welcome to the OAPN Podcast with your host, Adarsh Sakare. No bullshit, no cuts. 100% raw conversations with 0% fucks to give. We don't encourage the consumption of alcohol, but if you want to open up a cold one while you watch this, it's not a bad idea.
Welcome to episode number 85 of On a Personal Note with Adarsh Sakare. On 84, we had Narpat. Yeah, we had Narpat. I think Narpat was really one of those episodes. It's one of those episodes where we got it so wrong because what I thought he was clearly not what he was, because there was a large part of his life that he hadn't documented, and there was a reason for it. And from the introduction to where the conversation ended, I think it was pretty awesome. I think one of those longer episodes for sure. I think just under 2 hours, which we don't usually do, but yeah, I think that episode needed it, if I may say so. So if you haven't watched that, I think you should definitely check it out. Today we are on another episode, another special guest in the studio. Before I introduce him, let's say hi to Maahir Mohiuddin.
Yes.
I got your name right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
People don't do often, but you did.
Maahir, if you don't mind, if you can come closer to the mic.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think this will be
Okay.
way better.
I'll sit like this.
So how are things, Maahir?
Things are good, man. Nothing to complain about. They're great. They're amazing.
Enjoying it?
Yes, pretty much. I mean,
so Maahir is here. I think before anything else, you all should know that his first feature film, Vrita, is releasing.
yes.
Jan. Long time coming. Like we're saying it, but he's saying differently, and maybe we'll get into that.
Sure.
I think what's been nice to see about Maahir's journey is one, he's had this influence of his father with art to some extent, and maybe we'll dig into that. But it's nice to see that there is this early exposure towards art and maybe poetry and maybe expression, if I may say so. There is also this clear vision that being authentic as an actor has been one of the things that he's been working on, and you can see that in his work. The short films that he's done, right from Pop-Up to Roznama, getting those names right. I think I watched it this morning, and man, pretty
you did?
wide.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course I did. I loved it.
Thank you so much.
I think they are great. If you haven't watched it, you should definitely watch it. It was also surprising that the first thing when I saw you, I said, "What's this resemblance with Rajkumar Rao?"
Oh,
And then I felt that, and I go up your feed, and you're there with him.
yeah.
I'm like, wow. So that's that, and it's real. There's this journey. It's maybe taken about 7-8 years now since things started.
Yeah, since I started, I did my first play, I think 2015. So that's 8 years ago.
Yeah. So it's been a while. And the thing about theatre is, I did a lot of theatre in school and college.
Oh.
And before things really started to happen, I just felt like I got to revisit this at a later point in my life. And maybe I'm not up for it right now. So this was a few years ago, and I felt like, I got to pause this. It's not working for me. I didn't feel I was there.
Got it.
Right? But I think the thing about theatre is, you dive into this well and not knowing where it's going to lead. You dive into this well knowing that it's a pretty dark journey and you have no clue where the light's going to come up.
So that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. And you stay there and you enjoy it, and you meet people who have dived into the same well, and you see that there's a whole new world there, and the definitions of success and definitions of happiness and the definitions of expression are so different, and suddenly you align with it and you decide to stay there. Until some people like Maahir realize that, I can do more with this. And I think I just feel like that's what he's been trying. Where else can he take all of these definitions, if I may? So it's nice to see that. whenever you think of someone who's done great in theater and who's getting opportunities in mainstream media, I think times have changed. People have started to appreciate that authentic talent. But it's a journey that's never easy for whatever reasons. I'm not going to get into that. But it's nice to see when someone gets that opportunity. And I think that's what Maahir is on right now.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, and that's what Maahir is on right now. So if you know Maahir, I think you also know the amount of effort and the amount of times he's gotten on stage and the amount of people who know that Maahir is going to make it, right? If you're one of them, if you're one of them, welcome to this episode. If you're not one of them, if you just discovered him or maybe remember him from one of his plays or one of his advertisements, or maybe you're going to know him soon through one of his films, this is your chance to get to know him better. So welcome, Maahir. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
podcast.
I'm really excited to be here.
And
have a good conversation just on a personal note. And nothing more.
Yeah, we get really personal, so
let's go, dude.
all the best. You're not wearing seatbelts, but
I'm an open book. Ask me whatever you want to. It's fine.
Yeah, but it's nice. So let's start. I mean, how's it feeling? Does it feel like you're being recognized? Is that what it is?
To an extent, yeah. But right now, how I'm feeling is this podcast is going to be special for me. I've done a couple of interviews and stuff before, but they've been for plays. This podcast is special because there's a film coming out, and this is a tricky space for me to navigate. I don't completely understand this world. Unfortunately or fortunately, all I know is how to act, and there's a lot that comes with it, apparently. And this is what I'm dealing with. And this is a new space, YouTube, OTT, whatever's going on. So that's new for me. So yeah, I am excited about it.
Yeah, I think recognition is, I mean, you told me before we started recording that it's not something that you chased.
Never.
What, you didn't chase it at all, or you didn't chase it like obsessively? What was it?
I don't think I chased it at all. And I realized when it started coming to me in whatever amount, I realized that, I think it is coming because I'm not chasing it. How do I explain it? Because see, when you talked about theater and it's this well and it's dark and you don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
And you're doing it because of that, right? You're doing it because of the stage, because of the stories you want to tell. And that's what you thoroughly enjoy. The connection you make to the story or to the stage or your craft hits people a little differently than the connection you would make to wanting to be recognized, is what I feel. And a lot of people tend to do that, and there's nothing wrong in that. I think it's great. I mean, fame is a beautiful thing. Why wouldn't anybody want it? Right? But I don't know. It's never really worked for me. In fact, now when because now I have to shamelessly promote my film, and I'm doing it with much pride because I love the film. And but it's still, I'm not used to calling people, oh, you know what, I'm doing this, come. Why don't you come and watch this? Why don't you come? I have never called people for my plays. I have never called people, told people watch my ads. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's just very organically happened. And surprisingly, there's a really big community now of friends and well-wishers and supporters who are way more excited than I am for the film. Because as you said, when somebody from theater is, making it to the film or whatever, people are very excited. It's a thing, It's like, oh man, this is our boy, It's like that for everyone. So I'm more excited for my friends who are excited for me. So it's that.
That's the way to go, I think. Just organic.
Yeah. Any day. Any fucking day. And I think I get that because I've done theater mostly.
Yeah, why do you want that stress, right? Because you're trying to sell all the time and, why do you want to focus your energy there anyway?
Yeah.
Because if things need to come to you, they will.
They will.
Just random question and
go for it.
You'll get a lot of this go for it, before we get back on track.
Go for it.
What do you think leaves a longer lasting impact, a movie or a theater play?
I mean, I can't differentiate between the two,
No, I'm asking you to compare it on a parameter that's time. Which impact lasts longer?
I will tell you what I have an understanding of. See, it purely depends on the story. It depends on the performance. It depends on what you're trying to achieve with it, or what magic is happening, right? But the way I feel theater functions and the way film functions is, one of my directors very beautifully told me this, and I kind of live by that. I mean, I've not been proven wrong. His statement has been not proven wrong. He's like, when you go and watch a play, and when you go and watch a film, there's a fundamental difference that when you're watching a film, there's a world created for you, right? On screen, it's 2D and it's there, it's a screen, it's a whole world. Okay, there's a suspension of disbelief. You go inside that world for 2 hours and you're there. And the film has achieved it, whatever it is. It can be a Marvel film, it can be a Scorsese film, but you are in that world, and the director's job is to make sure you're here and you're believing everything. And then after that, you're out of it. And it stays with you. It stays with you in different ways. But a play, right? The whole approach of theater is different. The stage craft is different. The metaphors, the symbols you can use, because you just have a stage and a few lights and you can do crazy things with it. You don't have to particularly be hyper realistic as such. But also the kind of economy it functions in, the kind of people that come there, I think when you're watching a play, the play kind of comes to you inside your head rather than you going inside the play. I think that's the fundamental difference between watching a play and a film.
That's really nice. Oh, that's sweet. That hit me now. Yeah, that's what happens.
That's what happens.
You don't choose.
You don't choose.
You don't, when you buy that ticket, the play will come to you.
It will come to you. It'll get inside your head. And if it doesn't, it's a bad play.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
It's a bad play. That's all.
If it doesn't, it's a bad play.
It has to come with you. It has to stay with you. I think the purpose of a story is to stay with you and change something really fundamental about your thinking, about your ideology, without you realizing it. The way you start responding to the world changes after you see a great film or after you see a great play. But the difference is that play gets inside you. It can create more questions.
Yeah. No, I think I'm really interested in discussing some of these things, but I definitely want to be bound to some of the things we don't want to miss in terms of, just going back with where things started, right? And I feel like that's what we are here to do, create a context in terms of how things have flown in. So where does it start?
Where does it start?
Where does it start? Quite a mysterious question.
It is.
Very.
It is. So a lot of people, of course, have a misconception that I started theatre with my dad. That's not true at all.
There you go.
Making it clear.
I saw his expression when I mentioned his dad, and he's like,
"No, I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of what he does and everything." And but the thing is, I'll tell you what. I'll give you some context with that. So my father, his name is Zafar, and Zafar Mohiuddin, and he used to do a lot of theatre back in the 90s when I was a little baby. He's written a lot of things. He's written dialogues for Malgudi Days and everything. So he's been with those guys. And after that, when I started growing up, he left theatre. He's an architect by profession, and he left theatre, but the touch with culture doesn't go. You still go to plays. You still meet these artists. These poets are still coming home. And my mother's also somebody who receives art really well. She's a very introvert kind of a person, but she receives art. She reads a lot. She watches things. She reads things in a very nice way. And my father's somebody who creates art. So that was a great combination to grow up under. But I'll tell you something. Something about artistic families is everybody thinks, oh wow, it must be beautiful. It's not like that, because imagine you're seeing art in your home every day, and these books insane. In your home every day, and you're like, as a kid, you're just aversive to it. You're like, boring. If your parents are doing something, it's got to be boring. That's what you kind of grow up with. But then it hits you later that this is added to my intelligence. It's added to the way I see the world. And I'm so grateful for it. So I think when I started doing theatre was just after school ended, after 12th. I think around 11th to 12th, I was getting involved in some cultural activities in school, etc. Just random, dance, this, mime, blah, blah, blah. I was kind of opening up, and I started bunking school. Okay, this is where it starts. Okay, yeah, I got it. This is where it starts. I can tell you, July to 2013, I bunked school for the first time ever. And we went to watch this film, whatever was playing. We first went to some theatre, some multiplex, and those guys didn't let us in because we were in uniforms.
Oh, wow.
Right? And we freaked out. And then we do what every school student at that time would do. We went to Rex Theatre.
Of course.
Where everybody would be in uniforms and chilling.
Of course.
And Bhag Milka Bhag was playing.
Oh, sweet.
And I saw that film and it was crazy. I mean, I've always seen films. I've always seen films growing up. Like my father's shown me Charlie Chaplin's bedtime stories, you know, like it was like that kind of a home for us. We went to the movies every week. We went to watch plays and we'd be like around artists and everything all around. But I think when you go and see the world for yourself, it's different. And when I saw that film, I realized, okay, I want to do this more. I want to bunk school and watch films more. I want to keep doing this. And then I think through that, in that year, when I was regularly doing this, we came across this film called The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Oh, wow.
It's a life-changing film.
Yeah.
It's a very underrated, extremely life-changing film. And I'm not... and till now, acting film, nothing has come to my head, by the way. The only thing that's come to my head is that stories are extremely important. You know, your life has a story and you need to go with it. You need to understand it. You need to listen to it. And that kind of hit me. And I think that's when it kind of trickled down to a lot of things. I was supposed to do engineering. I was a good science student and stuff. And I was supposed to, you know, I was preparing for my IITs and stuff. I dropped everything and I'm like, fuck this. I don't want to do this. I want to, not films also. I had no idea that I want to get into films. I thought I want to do something related to stories. Anything. I find great interest in stories. And when I say stories, right, I don't mean stories that happen in films. I don't mean stories that happen particularly in books. What I mean is just stories. Like, you know, this is a story.
Yeah.
You know, me coming here, having a conversation with you, it's a story. So I started seeing this all around. Every conversation became a story. And I realized whatever we are, it's like... you know, we are made up of all the stories we've lived, of all the people we've met, and we're constantly evolving as such. That's why I particularly don't like to define myself as I'm this or I'm that or I'm this. You just have to be open to what's coming. So after that, I joined journalism in Joseph's because that was the closest I could understand stories, right? I'm like, this is great. Literature, journalism, I love it. I love books and I love politics any day. And but then something was still not hitting. And then I asked my dad, I'm like, listen, I want to try theatre. Do you know where can I go? I don't want to work with you, obviously. And he was not working in theatre that time as well. So he just dropped a few names. I'm like, these new boys are working. And I looked these guys up and I found one person's home. And I literally one evening just showed up to his place.
Who's this?
This is a man called Divas. He's a very important man in my life, and he's the one. He's like my guru. I started with him, and he's a very good friend more than anything.
He runs a production.
Yeah, right now he runs a production called Kinaya Collective. They do a lot of Hindustani Hindi theatre.
I'm aware. Yeah.
Kinaya Collective, phenomenal work. So that time it was different. That time it was Sarthak. There were two people, Divas and Shaurya. They used to run it, and I walked up to their rehearsal room, and it was a little cozy home in Frasertown, and I walked up and I was with a friend. I'm usually like after college we're chilling at our chai addas. I'm like, you know what, bro, let's just go to a rehearsal today, and we went. And I told him, hi, I heard about you do theatre. I want to come and sit in your rehearsals. I didn't ask for anything else. I just want to sit in your rehearsals. Is that allowed? And he's like, yeah, but who are you? And I'm like, I'm nobody, but I think you might know my father. He's like, yeah, I'm aware, but okay, what do you know? I'm like, I know nothing. I absolutely know nothing. I'm just a student. I'm studying this and that. And he was like, okay, you can sit, but you'll have to do some work. And I'll give you some work. And I'm like, cool. So I sat in his rehearsals, and my only job for the first two plays was I used to stick posters around for their plays, and I used to make tea sometimes. All right. And I used to sit. And the first day I sat, I was fascinated, man, because I've always loved plays. I've loved films. I've watched these as I grew up. But when I saw that these guys are spending 2 hours behind one dialogue, so I understand where the magic is coming from. Yeah. You know, it's work. It's simply work and practice. It's not like no, it's pretty simple. It's straightforward. It can happen. Even in that, there's magic. So when actors would be absent, by now I knew everybody's lines. So I would just like take cue. I'm like, sir, I'll do it. And whenever you do exercises, I'd be involved. So 2-3 plays I worked with him in production. I learned lights, sound. whatever happens around the stage first. Never thought I wanted to go on stage, but for one play, he put me on stage. He put me on stage, and he trained us 2 months for that play. And it was probably one of the most emotionally grilling sessions of my life. It was a play based on riots in India. It was written by Gulzar Saab. It was called Kharashe.
So heavy.
Very heavy, very heavy. So every day we would after rehearsals, we'd end up crying and things like that would happen, right? And yeah, man, and it just worked when we did it, and people would come and just hug us for 5-10 minutes straight after the play, and I saw the power of words and the stage and a performance. And after that, one thing led to the other. Somebody saw me, called me to another play. Somebody saw me, called me to another play.
That's how
blah 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 blah. And then ads, films happen. We'll talk about that.
But that's where it started.
In some way, yeah. So it started at a very cozy rehearsal room in Frasertown. It's beautiful.
It's funny. I think I've auditioned for them at one point.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Can you tell me which year?
I'll tell you which year. This was 2013, 2014. I think one of these years.
Was it for an English play?
It was for an English play.
I think it was I Had a Dream. I think it was that. I know what play.
This is almost 9 years ago. Right?
Yeah, no, I remember because we did that play again.
Oh, is it?
And I was in that play as well.
So I came in this afternoon and I gave the audition and I didn't get a call back.
Okay.
Which I don't hold against you all if you all are listening. But I didn't get many callbacks, dude. But that was the point when I'd start to realize that I'm not actually there. See, I was I enjoyed doing a lot of theater in school and college.
Yeah.
But I knew there was a lot of other things that, my mind was in. And I wasn't just there. I wasn't in the moment. I wasn't doing what, anyway. That's that. So I was there. But anyway, coming back to your story, right? I think... some of these starts are nice how they come to you. But again, it happens with you taking the first step.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They wouldn't have ever told you, what, come sit here and just
वो ऐसे नहीं होता ना, पुराने ऐसे कहानियां होती थी यार, वो रोड पे देख लिया, तू हीरो बन सकता है. ऐसे नहीं होता.
You take the first step.
You take the first step and you don't know what that step is. I feel you take it with a blank slate. You take it with no agendas. It's beautiful. Life is so beautiful. It's pure.
When you take that first step.
First step with no agendas. I never walked into that rehearsal room hoping that I'd be in the big screen someday. I walked in because I was curious. I'm like, what happens in there? That's all it was.
You enjoyed stories. And because somewhere, as cliche as it sounds, you listen to your heart. Right? Because you said, this is what just feels natural to me to go and sit there.
It felt right.
It felt right. And I'm going to do it. And if you ask someone at that moment to rationalize the decision of you sitting there
for 2 hours sitting there,
it doesn't make sense. And this is the beauty of, and I'm telling you, right, this is I would say we've already hit the reason we are doing this podcast. This is it, right? And the problem is many people are in that particular moment, or maybe just before getting into this moment that you've just described, in terms of, hey, you know what, I feel like doing this, but it's not rational in any way possible.
Mera kya hai?
इसमें मेरा क्या फायदा? And then the people around them are asking them the same thing. उसमें तेरा क्या
फायदा? If you start living life like this, it sucks. It really sucks. It's terrible. Life isn't mathematics, unfortunately. It's a little more than that.
Yeah, we keep saying this all the time. 1 + 1 isn't 2 in art.
Yeah.
There is no simpler way to explain that.
There is no plus, there is no 1, there is nothing. It doesn't make sense. I mean, shows in our bank accounts as well. But our lack of mathematics is a very well represented in the bank accounts.
We'll get to that. I think that's a pretty interesting topic. We'll get to that. So this happens, and then like you said, you start getting called for plays, and you're auditioning, and you're getting maybe better roles, and you start to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And what is it that you waited for on stage? What kept you going? What part of this performance just stayed with you? Just made you want to do it again and again? What part of theater wanted you to continue?
First of all, I think it's the community, the people. in the Bangalore theatre circuit that time. I don't know now. I've not done a lot of plays this year. I've only done 2, which is very less for me. But the community is beautiful. I felt like, I belong somewhere, and it's a bunch of misfits, absolutely. And they're crazy, they're vulnerable, and they're amazing. They're really funny. But that was one thing. And just being around these people, having these conversations, learning so much. And a lot of my poetry and literature, Urdu and all, I know like my parents are into it, but a lot of it came from my first play, Kharashein, which was Urdu plays and everything. And Divas introduced me to a lot. Because when you go out and look for something yourself, regardless of it being in your home, it's very different when you go to that library and you pick that book rather than somebody giving it to you, So that happened, I feel. A whole new world opened up of literature for me, of plays, of films. The way I saw films changed. And but when I'm on stage as an actor, there are these moments where you forget where you are, what you're doing. You're not conscious of, okay, I'm here, I'm performing, I'm doing this. You're not acting, and I remember one of my directors in my early days had told us that the worst thing you can do as an actor is act. And I'm like, oh, what? It just hit me like, fuck. And when you kind of figure that out, right? That space, it's trance. It's trance. It's a drug. It's a drug. You want it again and again and again because it's not easy to achieve. It's not easy to achieve being in the moment. And just like in life, it's not easy to achieve being in the moment. Just like in theater, it's not easy being in the moment. But when you are in the moment, it's goddamn beautiful. It hits the people. It hits them. And there's a beautiful bond between you and the audience that nothing can shake. Yeah. So that, I think, and there's also this imperfection, right? I strive for perfection. I don't believe perfection exists. I think I hate pretty much all my performances. People love it, whatever, but I'm very self-critical like that. I'm like, no, that sucked. Like there have been shows where I've gone and it's a house full and people have lost it. Like, they're standing ovations and crap. And I'm just sitting in the green room and I'm like, and some of my other actor friends are like, oh my God, what a show. Because some of them come there for the applause. I was not there for that.
You get it anyway, most times.
Yeah, I was not there.
You put in a decent amount of effort, you get the applause.
You get the applause, but I'm not there for that, I'm there for something else. And I'm there for, I know that I should know deep inside that this was a good show.
Yeah.
Something felt right. Something felt honest. And it doesn't happen every time. And that's the beauty of theatre. Because if it doesn't happen this show, you get to do it in another show. Film, you don't get to do that shit. Once a bad performance, it's imprinted for life. So I'm terrified of my first film. Okay, like my directors love it. They're very happy with it. And all the people who are working around it, the beautiful technicians, they're very happy with my performance. I'm like, I'm not so sure, but like, let's see. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a scene by itself.
Yeah.
But like you were mentioning, right, that part where you go into trance.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like these old antennas that, you're searching for signal.
Yeah.
And you're like doing this.
That's a very nice way to put it.
And you're doing this. And suddenly it connects.
Yeah. And suddenly ho jata and everybody's like,
And then it stays for some time and it goes.
But it's there, it's clear.
Yeah.
It's clear. When it's there, it's clear.
Yeah.
And for that, you know what you need to fix an antenna? You need a goddamn team. You need a guy downstairs. You need a guy at the TV. You need a guy at the window. You need a guy at the terrace. So let's make that very clear. To hit that moment, you can't do it alone. You need a team. You need your actors. You need your director. You need everyone. Because everybody needs to be shouting at each other for a while. And you're like, okay, yeah, it's there. It's there. Yeah, there it is. It's like that.
And that's what it is. And that's what you keep chasing, right?
Exactly,
because you're not in that moment all the time.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of work to get that one moment of alignment where you just feel yourself, or where you don't feel yourself.
Yeah.
If I may say so. But it's nice. So that's good. So that's what keeps you going on, going on stage, and that's what you enjoyed.
Absolutely.
So where did the aspirations begin in terms of, okay, maybe the screen is something that I want to see, and you did a couple of advertisements and things like that. And did you do advertisements for the money, or did you actually enjoy it?
I'll tell you what. I've done a lot of advertisements. That's where my money comes from. I've been doing ads for like 6 years now in Bangalore, Bombay, etc. But so I was doing a lot of theatre, and I think one of these directors saw me. His name is Raghav. Brilliant director. Worked on a bunch of music videos with him and films and short films and stuff. And he runs this thing called Sunday Actors Meetup now, where Jerusha also comes, and a bunch of actors just meet up every Sunday. So he saw me at one of my plays or something, I think, him or his friend, his producer, and she approached me. He's like, you want to do an ad? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And that's when I realized, oh, you can get paid for acting. You know, I did not know until then this happens, because nobody pays.
I didn't know how this works.
I'm like, you guys are getting paid? What? I was doing theatre for free, man. What the hell? And then and I was still in college, so any money was a lot of money for me. So when she called, she's like, this thing, you want to audition? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll audition. And I got selected. And I did not realize, apparently, it's like a big deal. And she told me what she's going to pay me. It was a meager amount then.
Yeah, sure.
But that time I was like, what?
Just for this?
Just for this? Like, I'm going to come for an hour? Because you see, when I do a play, I'm spending 2-3 months for it. And I've given an audition, I go on set, I did it, and I came back. And I'm like, okay, the world is a little different. But then I also realized that by that time I started doing short films and stuff in college. I was in Joseph's. So every goddamn film student is looking for an actor. And that time nobody else was doing theatre from Joseph. I was like the only guy. So everybody would call me for their films, like shitty films, good films, bad films, all sorts of crap would happen. Student filmmakers are on a trip and a half. They want to become Christopher Nolan in their first film. It's not gonna happen, buddy. It's just not gonna happen, you know. Every script that would come to me, they'll be like, bro, you know what, you're here and there's a dream loop sequence, and I'm like, bro, you have $15,000 to make a film. Like, how are you gonna do that? You know, and the first film that came to me, which touched my heart, was Roznama.
Oh, is it?
A good film.
Sweet.
And when I read it, there was no dream loop sequence, there was no murder, there was no sci-fi. And I'm like, this is a story of a newspaper boy who likes to write poetry. This is beautiful. And Anurag and Bhavya, genius filmmakers, Atish, also a very good friend of mine. They brought that. It felt so close to home, and that's what I realized. It's not just about how crazy the story is. It's about how you say it. It's how honestly you say it. It's the closer the home, the better that you're able to say it. You know, so but the ads and all happened, and then one thing led to the other, dude. Like, yeah.
You know, I saw Roznama, and I just felt like he should have stayed back for tea.
He should have.
What the fuck did he want to do, bro? Like, he has a job, I get it.
Yeah.
But like, stay back for tea because that's all you had.
He should have stayed back.
Yeah. And maybe he would have had more to write.
Yeah, maybe she should have stayed back too.
Nice.
She never does, man.
Nice. Oh, shit.
Sad boy ass, what's up?
Oh, wow. Oh, that was nice. She could have stayed back too. Yeah, she should have. But they don't. Anyway.
But ads is not something I particularly enjoy.
So it's still paying your bills.
That's the only thing that pays my bills. And I do voiceovers and stuff, etc. But ads pays my bills. What I enjoy about ads is I meet a fun bunch of people and I make money, you know. And but what I hate about ads is a lot of people do it like they're making the greatest film ever, which is hilarious. At the end of the day, you're selling, I don't know, this, like, or whatever. It's not the greatest film ever, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, so that kind of puts me off because, and also the way actors behave, dude. Actors are on a different trip in Bangalore, especially because.
What trip is this?
What trip is this? They'll do an ad and they'll be like, guys, this has been the greatest opportunity of my lifetime. I got to do an ad. I got to sell tissue paper, you know, like, I don't get it. Because at the end of the day, you're selling something. I don't mind it. I get it. That's where the money is coming from, and we're well appreciative of it. But I just feel I have a problem with pride in general. Of things I don't know that don't make sense to me. You know, I can't be proud of an ad. I can't even be proud of a film or like a play. Pride is something I navigate because I feel pride can take you places you shouldn't be at also. I feel a lot of hate, a lot of delusion in the world comes from a place of pride, and ये मेरे को थोड़ा अजीब लगता है. Like, I can't be happy with that. I can't be happy so early in my life. You know, I mean, I can't be proud and happy of what I'm doing because I feel there are so many more greater things to do. So that. But one important thing is when I'm on an ad set, I learn a lot about how to act in front of the camera. That you learn. So it's a learning experience. It's a curve. It's you get a set experience. You know how to be on set. You know what to do when your shot is about to be ready. You know what to do when you have to wait. You know what to do when there's a different angle. So these are the craft. You learn a lot if the people are good.
Yeah, the technical side, the production.
The technical side. And that's important.
Vocabulary, and it just helps.
That's all it is. That's all acting is. I mean, if you don't understand technical side, if you're only on some passionate trip, it's not going to work. You need to know the goddamn craft.
I was just thinking about something and I forgot you were mentioning about you were mentioning about pride. Yeah. I think pride is layered with disrespect. I think that's what it is. Yeah. I think if anyone's walking with too much pride, I think it's just layered with disrespect.
It's entitlement.
Yeah. And that is so putting off.
It's really putting off. That's one thing that like hands down puts me off. Entitlement. Yeah. Like what are you entitled about? I don't, because I've met greats who are not entitled about shit because they know what it is. Yeah. When you meet these guys who've achieved so much, who are legends of the craft and their work, they are just like, you know, no big deal. They don't take themselves so seriously.
Maybe then the only difference is when you're walking with that pride and disrespect, a large part of your success has been handed over to you. I think that's what it is.
Maybe.
Because if you've earned it completely yourself, you won't be walking like that.
Or I don't know what you were here for. I'm not sure what you were here for.
Maybe you are here for reasons that we don't get.
We don't get.
Yeah.
What were you here for? And it usually comes with fame, popularity, which is okay. Like I get it. Every actor wants to be popular, wants to be a hero. Nobody does not want to, you know, raise his hands like Shah Rukh Khan someday and like say mad dialogues like Amitabh, etc. No actor doesn't want to do that. We all want that. But I think it's good to find a balance. Why are you actually here? Are you here because you love the craft? Are you here to tell stories? Are you here because you want to get your pictures clicked? You know, make that clear. I feel have that conversation with yourself because, dude, honestly, the people who are there, who have been working, who've been doing great stuff, they're not entitled about shit.
Yeah.
They really, and the trick is they do not take themselves seriously. at all. The whole world takes them seriously.
Just fucking around.
Yeah, they're just chilling. They're just doing work. They love the work. They take their ideologies. They take their ethics. They take their values very seriously.
Yeah.
They don't take everything that comes around very seriously. The money, the fame, वो थोड़ा light ही लेते हैं. Like they're appreciative. Like, you know, they're glad. They're respectful of the love they get, but they don't take themselves so seriously.
You know, when I started judging the Bangalore theatre scene,
tell me about it, dude. Like this is what you have, like a 3-hour episode. Just
when I started seeing the average level of pretentious people go up.
Exactly.
And when I saw that, and when I saw that being encouraged, I said, "Fuck you," because this is not what I wanted to go on.
Oh, of course.
And then I would go for auditions, and then I would be with certain communities and with certain groups. And I'm waiting for real people.
Yeah.
And I'm not meeting them. I said, fuck this shit. This is not real anymore. I don't get it. I was told theatre groups is the closest you'll get to being real. And it wasn't. It's pretense. It's fucking pretense.
It's a lot of pretense.
And I don't have a problem with rich kids. But I've started to have a problem with them.
Why don't you have a problem with rich kids? Why are you being nice, dude? I think rich kids have a problem with rich kids, dude. Like, rich kids are a problem, dude. Like,
you know, like...
Yeah, but like, I'll tell you what, I get it. The pretense is there, but there is reality. There is reality. It's just about finding the good people. I've been very lucky that way, I feel. With whom I started, then who I jumped to, and then after a point, I also started working with my dad. When he saw I'm doing so much theatre, there's a lot of Hindi theatre happening. He was in his retirement days, like, let's do theatre again. I'm like, cool, I'll get you people, we'll do a play together. So we did that. We did a bunch of shows with him, and we had
performed with your dad on stage?
He directed, and I've assisted him in direction and act. I mean, see, when I do a play or when I do a film, no, acting is not the only thing I do, unfortunately. I'm still waiting for that day. It's been 8 years. There's not a single play or a shoot I've walked in where I've just acted and I've gotten out. I end up just doing everything. And because if I like the project, if I like the people who are working on it, I will give myself fully. But you will find the real people. You will find the right people. Pretense will always be there. You go wherever, dude. You go wherever there'll be pretense. And after a point, you'll realize it's a little harmless because the real people are doing what they're doing and they will be recognized for it. It'll take time. It's okay, but it's worth it.
Just temperament.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's always. Now though there's a lot. Bangalore theatre में बहुत हो रहा है. इसलिए मुझसे भी नहीं हो रहा because
Everyone's meeting in Kaban Park on Sunday morning, bro.
ये कर रहे हैं, वो कर रहे हैं. Everybody's. I don't know what people want. Like I'll tell you clearly. Okay, like people are. Actors have a lot of stereotypes, and unfortunately, a lot of them are true. All right,
Which is?
Dude, this pretense business, this trying to be nice and polite and trying to get the attention and everything. It's cool, good for you, right? But don't fuck with the craft.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with that. Do whatever you want to. Do your faff. Become a goddamn influencer.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with the craft. Respect it for what it is. I'm not being idealist or purist right now. The craft can be anything. The craft can be anything as long as it's honest. The problem is, I'll tell you what, a lot of people ask me how are you so okay with not getting selected for auditions? I give a lot of audition. I forget about it. I have never gone to a director and asked, sir, please काम दे दो. Never. I will never do that. Because I'm here because I love the craft.
Yeah.
I'm not here because I want to make it. All right. Love it so much that you'll make it eventually.
Yeah.
Don't go there to make it. If you make it and you'll forget that why did you get here?
Yeah.
They just want to make it. I want to make it. I want to make it big. I want to make it big. I want to make it big. But then where's the love?
Yeah.
It'll catch up. This will catch up. This will catch up to you.
You'll be empty.
You'll be there'll be a void. You'll be confronted with this.
Yeah.
How are you okay with it? I'm okay because nobody's gonna stop me from acting.
Yeah.
What if I don't get a big film after? If I don't become famous, I can come back to Bangalore. I can bring 10 people. I can put up a play. I can call 200 people. I'm still acting. Who's stopping me? Nobody's gonna stop you from acting.
Yeah.
So if you really love acting, actors won't be crying so much. Ki support the artists and support us. Like we are struggling.
Yeah.
Who asked you to come into the art? I never asked anyone. I don't get this rule. A lot of people say, support the artists, come watch our plays, come watch our open mics and stuff.
I don't get it, yeah.
I'm like, who's asking you to do this? You pick this up yourself. And if you're good enough, if you figure this way out, if you connect with people will come. People love people doing great things. People love watching people read poetry, art, theatre. But people know you're doing this for feeling good about yourself.
It'll not work.
Then I don't think people might like it. The audience is beautiful. They're very intelligent.
Wow.
They're very genuine. Nice. They're very honest. They're very matter of fact. All right? If you're doing good, even if you thoda hug bhi diya, it's okay. They'll be like, fine.
Fuck it.
It's okay. So I feel sometimes in your life you need some push from your well-wishers and your friends and all of that. Like probably your first play. People show up. So it's a good thing. It's like a support. Okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe I'm good at it. Like my first film is coming up. Now I'm understanding the value of support. I'm like, okay, my friends need to come watch it. And I know people will come watch it. I know my theatre people will come watch it. They're all going to show up. Because now I can't just sit and be like, dekh lenge jo aayega film. I don't care. I can't be like that. I can't pull a Vijay Devarkonda. I'm like, people, you come, give me a chance. And if you think it's worth it, cool. If it's not, fine. I will try something else.
So what, your dad judges your work?
Not entirely. He's usually very proud and happy about me.
Yeah?
He flexes me a lot.
Oh, he flexes you?
He flexes me outside. He doesn't say it to me. When in your room, he's like, oh, he's like a full-time actor now. He's my son because, just so you know, he's my son. He does that. So I'm like, cute. But now still recently. Huh?
That's something we say a lot.
What?
We'll say something and we'll be like, cute.
Cute.
So we got the reference.
Cute.
And we said and people are like, cute?
Cute. It's cute, dude. I'm usually I get very embarrassed sometimes because now he's constantly working on some play or the other, and he was doing some rehearsals. And usually, I'll tell you how this goes. When my dad gets into theatre, he's a very respected man, so people are scared of him a little bit. He's very friendly and sweet, but he's like an old man with long white hair and loud voice and shit. So people are just intimidated, right? I'm not. I'm not. He's my dad. So when I work with him, we have fights and shits and I usually take over the whole project. I manage the actors, the production. I direct some few scenes. He comes, he does the basic. Yeah, this is how we're gonna do it. This is what it is. He's like a veteran, so he doesn't put much effort. And then I do most of the dirty work that I dealing with these actors' egos, इनके पीछे पीछे क्या चल रहा है backstage में, ये वो डब्बे उठाओ, ये करो वो करो, पैसे यहाँ वहाँ, all of that. So I keep, he's doing some play and I'm like, I can't work with him anymore. And then one of my friends who's aiding him right now is like, Maahir, please come to the rehearsals. We need you. And I'll go and I'll see like, okay, this is the state it's at. And then I'll start working on it. So recently, last week, I went to one of his rehearsals after ages. Because since I've been working on this film, I've not had time to go to a rehearsal and stuff. Because I'm also a little over it.
Okay.
You know? But I went. My friend called me and there were like some 10 women sitting. It's an all-woman play he's doing right now. And first thing I know, I'll go there. He'll start introducing me to everyone. He's my son. You know, he has a film coming out one by one. He introduces. I'm like, okay, hi, what's up? And like, why don't you do that monologue? उनको monologue करके दिखाना.
He tells you?
He tells me, dude, and I'm like,
this is some Diwali party.
Yeah, this is a Diwali party, dude. Like, I'm serious. He does this
fucking Diwali party in front of our uncle.
Because he knows I can do it. You know, he knows सुन ही लेगा ना. Because everybody thoda now they see me little differently in the theater circuit. It's like they're very proud of me, and the newbies are very like,
you're the guy who made it, bro.
In some way for them, you know. So it's like that. So I'm like, okay, hi, what's up? But in front of my dad, I'm just that guy. Beta naach ke dekha, you know. And मैं नाच दूंगा, हाँ ठीक है. You know, it's like what to do. It sucks. But it's cute.
It's nice.
It's fun. It's fun. It's fun working with him, dude. It's crazy. Like all my friends also enjoy it too. It's a different trip only. Like he's mad. He roasts like crazy, and we don't even realize it. And he's lost somewhere half the time. It's amazing. It's cute. Like it's really cute.
So you write?
Yeah. I mean, once in a while I do poetry. Not so much. I read a lot of poetry. I have written poetry.
Yeah.
In Roznama, one of the poems I wrote.
Which one?
The last one.
Oh, the last one you wrote?
Yeah.
Wow.
निकला ही नहीं मुझे छोड़कर कहीं तो क्या ये कहानी भी कोई कहानी होगी. So, and I didn't write it for the film. I'd written much before. It just fit in the film.
You have something on you that you haven't. You have something on you that you can share with us.
Poetry.
Yeah. Love to.
I don't write a lot of poetry.
Anything on your phone that maybe is not on the internet. And
see, Roznama is not on the internet, by the way. It's not released. I have a curse, by the way. I've done like 20 short films, 3 have released. So
it's like, not on the internet. Yeah,
it's not on the internet.
It's on your link tree.
Yeah, it's not on my.
It's not like you can't search for it.
You can't search for it.
Yeah,
it's not public. All directors, I'll tell you what they do. They call me. I'm like, dude, Maahir is a great actor. Let's work with him. And then I'll give my best. I'll write for them. I'll act for them, and they don't release the goddamn film, dude. So I'm like sick of.
So you know, I was scrolling through your stuff. I was searching for it. I found nothing. And at the end, I found the link tree. I said, okay, here's where you can get access. Or else
so I've kept that only to send it to people for work and stuff. So. Yeah. You really want me to read poetry, man? I mean, I'm a little embarrassed. I'm a terrible poet. Huh?
No. I mean,
it's okay.
And like, if I don't get it, then you explain it to me.
I'll read something. I'll read the Roznama poem only.
No, something else.
और कुछ है नहीं मेरे पास.
Anything, bro. Nothing. Like something. 2 lines. Like something you've written like about your ex or something.
Oh God. This is God, no. Of course you want to get there, don't you? Yeah, but no, I've written only good things for my.
Yeah, about your ex. Yeah, let's hear some.
मुश्किल है, रुको मैं ढूंढ रहा हूँ अभी. मेरे को ढूंढना पड़ेगा.
It's not been that long.
It's been pretty. Yeah. It's been a year exactly. So. It's fun. We're all good.
Yeah.
What the fuck? No, man. Shit. Poetry. God damn it. You're putting me in a spot now.
What else are we here for?
Poetry.
Anything, bro. It can be about the most like random thing. But I think
so. This was actually written for a girl only. This Roznama thing.
Okay.
This was written for a girl only.
Okay.
But like nothing crazy. It was just somebody I met. I connected with really well. And see, I'm somebody who has my heart on his sleeve all the time. Okay, for anything, be it acting or anything else. And I've embraced it. I'm not scared of it. I love being vulnerable. I think it's beautiful. I think it's a waste of time if you're not vulnerable. There's a whole world to be like absolutely open and naked to, and it just comes to you, and it gets problematic. You have issues, you have conflicts, but that's part of life.
But it's a trip.
It's a trip. Sadness, heartbreak, सब होता है, वो ज़रूरी है. तो वही I'll read it out because apparently my friends are using this poetry to like get girls and shit now. I didn't know that.
Write it down, bro.
My friend told me, I don't remember. I'm like sitting here drinking and he starts reciting this poetry, bro. On this date, you know what I read to her? I'm like, this. I'm like, what? I don't remember it. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, you doing this on dates? I'm like, glad I'm coming. Because I mean, I read poetry to a lot of lovers. A lot of time, not my poetry. I read the poetry I enjoy. I share poetry with people. I think it's a love language, you know. Hey, listen, I found something nice. I think you'll like it too.
Yeah.
So, this poem is अच्छा खासा बेचारा दिल मेरा महफूज था इस सीने के पिंजरे में किसने इजाजत दी तुम्हें मेरे बाएं आस्तीन पर ला छोड़ने की अब तो कोई भी धक्का लगा जाता है यूं ही चलते चलते निचोड़ा जाता है जब कभी चढ़ाता हूं कोनी से वापस पिंजरे में जाने से इनकार कर दिया है जनाब ने कहता है सह लूंगा ये सब लेकिन आज़ादी की ये मीठी हवा तो खा लूं वहां ठंड में मर जाऊंगा कहीं और थोड़ी गर्मी तो पालूं सोच रहा हूं इसका कहीं और ट्रांसफर करा दूं पिछली जिंदगी के अनजान अफसोस भुला दूं जिंदगी की चक्की पीसने में हाथ तो कोई इसका बढ़ा दे कम से कम जाड़ों के ये दिनों में विंटर्स जाड़ों के ये दिनों में थोड़ी सी धूप तो दे वो जानम मैंने कहा यहाँ से वहाँ तक का रास्ता बड़ा खतरनाक हो सकता है कोई रास्ते में ही किडनैप कर ले तो तू हमेशा के लिए गुमनाम हो सकता है खैर इन चार दीवारों के अंधेरे से अच्छी तो खुली ज़मी आसमां में ये गुमनामी होगी निकला ही नहीं मुझे छोड़कर कहीं तो क्या ये कहानी भी कोई कहानी होगी
That's from
Thank you. That's from
short film. Yeah.
That's it was added in my short film. So the short film originally didn't have poetry. It was just a silent film. And then I told like Anurag, I'm like, dude, this guy's a writer. So why don't we add poetry? In fact, I have a poem which fits perfectly. And then we wrote that. Another friend of mine, Kausar, came. I'm like, write 2 poems for the film. So we created some. So every film I've been a part of, I've ended up writing some dialogues, some stories. I've directed a couple of music videos and stuff. Directed a lot of plays. I've done everything, but I hardly take credit for it. I like to be an actor. It's easier.
It's a scene. So going back to your vulnerability, you're pretty open about your relationships on Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what it's clear that you're not going to take them off.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah, tell me about that.
I mean, I
think I've been the same, and it's just why would you want to take it off?
It was a part of my life. She was a part of my life. Yeah. I'm so grateful for her. I'm so grateful for the time we spent and everything. And I want to set an example that to people that first of all they treat breakups like some filmy shit is happening. You know, it's good. You're still living life. You're meeting new people. You're experiencing different people. You're figuring out what love means for you and stuff. But and they delete immediately. They block, they delete, and like, nahi. I get it. You know, it hurts. It sucks. You know, it's a little salty. Everything. I have learned to live past that. Yeah. It's fine. I have learned a lot of gratitude from the women I've been with. I am so grateful for them. I love them. I've learned too much with them about myself, about just being a better person and a better man. Maybe they didn't intend it to, but I still did. And and usually a lot of like my exes have deleted their posts and all. Like I'm like, mere se nahi hoga yaar. I'm
keeping it.
You are part of my life. If you have an extreme problem with it, I'm like, I can do it.
Yeah.
But I will not leave because I'm like, because I'll tell you what, I broke up a year ago. Even now I have a problem like getting into the dating scene because people think I'm still like dating and shit, or people just think I'm cheating. I don't know. Like, I'm not over it. I'm like, dude, this is what it is. You're gonna get it. And I will talk about it as much as people ask me. I talk about everything. And I mean, I think dealing with breakups with grace is very important. Because I'll tell you, like, all the serious relationships I've been with in the past, and I have made sure that the breakup is good. Yeah. It's in good health. Like when I know the story is coming to an end, I know it.
Yeah.
Right? It is coming to an end. It's fine. I'm not going to force it.
Yeah.
I can't force it. And usually happens from my side only. Listen, I don't think I can do this or whatever. Because I can't be dishonest to this. I truly believe in love, and love is always going to be there. But something's not working. Yeah. Life is calling differently. the last month of the relationship is usually the best. We go back to our first month and, it's like a whole honeymoon phase of sorts. Like, I'll remind you why we fell in love with each other. And then, like a cynical, I'll go separate ways. It sucks, but I'll tell you why I do that. I do that because I don't want anybody to lose their faith and love because of me. Whatever happens. Relationships ending does not mean... People are too scared to love these days, right? To fall in love again. It's very scary. It is. I don't want anybody to feel that because of me.
Because of you.
I want people to, in fact, feel more open and more enthusiastic about falling in love because it's so beautiful.
Yeah, and I've honestly felt that, right? Like, and I used to feel crazy about it but now I get it. I used to be like very happy on days of my breakups.
Yeah.
Like, the last 2 relationships, like, of course the pain is there and everything else.
It's a part of it.
But there's this excitement, there's this freedom, there's this hope and that's the same thing I believe in, right? Because if you treat it with grace and if you respect the person, you understand that there's nothing wrong about
them. You fell in love with them for a reason. And of course you saw your crazy sides, beautiful bad sides, but that's the best part of being in a relationship. So you get to see everything.
It's very hard. I think for people for some it takes longer. For some they never see it that way.
Absolutely.
And that's what it is.
And it is about making. That's what, dude. It's about not taking yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
When you understand that love is a little bigger than you are, you will be able to deal with this fine. When you think you can tame it, when you think you can control it, it's gonna fuck with you like big time. So
it'll show you
what it is, the power of it. So just understand that it is where it is. You're a small part of the stream, and it's gonna go where it goes. That's it.
So how's the movie treated you? I mean, how was the experience with Vrita, and how was the experience working with Chaitra, and how have those things been for you?
Okay, so the movie is very different than what one can expect. I'm not saying this because we are doing something different. It actually is very different because to give you a brief. I can't talk much about the film, not because I've signed an NDA or something, because I want you to come and watch the film. And it's a full blown. It's mystery. It's a very slow burn film. It's very experimental. It started as an indie sort of a project. We're shooting with like 2 small cameras. Yeah, it started as a small indie project, but then I don't know. The journey with this movie has been insane. I mean, we started shooting in October or something, and I believe it's been 2 years since we started shooting, and most of it we shot that time and last year a little bit. But when we were shooting it, I think first schedule ke baad, like after 1 week into it, I think there was some different kind of faith in the film. So the directors decided, dude, you know what? Let's just go all in. Let's go crazy with it. Let's release it in the theaters. I have a feeling about this, And I'm like, yeah, bring it on. So half the film I'm inside a car, I'm driving somewhere, and the story reveals through phone calls, and it just unfolds and unfolds and unfolds. And Chaitra has a special appearance in the film, and she's there for the scene. And I shot with her only for like a couple of days, but I mean, she's a senior actor, and she's great. You can tell that when she comes on set, the ease with which she navigates and everything. I was still new to this. I mean, the reason I picked this up was because I'd done all forms of acting, all right. And when this came to me, I was like, okay, I've not done a feature film. Let's do this. Let's see where it goes. I wanted to understand if I can sustain a feature film as a lead. I wanted to know what it takes to do a feature film as a lead. And the answer is that it takes everything. Everything you have got emotionally, mentally, physically. So when I did that, and when I saw some people doing ads and flipping their shit, I was like, okay, bro. Okay. I mean, I had a lot of respect for actors suddenly, people who've done feature films, even bad films, good films, whatever. Doing one feature film can break you apart. It can rip you apart, right? And this film particularly has done that because the character is is in a very dark space. He's a very normal go-to guy. He's an urban guy. Anybody who's lived in the city can relate to him. He's somebody who likes his own space and time. But that's also because he's not confronting a lot of problems that are going on in his life. And if you don't confront what's going on in their life, life will confront them to you. And that's what vritta means, what goes around.
Oh, can you repeat that for me? Sorry.
The character is in such a dark space that anybody of us, anybody who lives in the city, anybody who has the urban experience can relate to it, because there is loneliness here.
Yeah.
There is loneliness in the city. We're all lonely people. And he's also that because he's not confronting with a lot of problems in his life. But if you don't do that, life will confront you regardless. And that's what the film is about. It's what goes around, comes around. It's a man going somewhere to fix something and shit goes down, and he's faced with a lot of things he's been running away from, and he has to deal with them now. He doesn't have a choice. I feel everybody who's probably in their 20s or 20s to 35s at least, who's been living in the city, it'll hit them somewhere for sure. Like that's because it's hit me. I was not expecting it. Many months after the film got over, last year I think March, we ended like a major schedule, and after that beach mein we had some patchwork reshoots and dubs, so but the character did not leave me for a long time, and like for the last year was absolute crap for me. Like, and I realized it's only because of the way I've started to respond to life, because I started to respond to life as this guy, and I didn't realize that, and it's a very sad way to respond to life. It's fucked up
because of the character.
Yeah, because of the character, and I didn't realize it because see, when you say dark characters, like you can have directors like characters who are like killers and murderers and like, you know, whatever, criminals and, you know, like gangsters, and there's a lot of darkness inside, but they express that darkness. You know, they express it. They use guns, they use whatever weapons, they shout. There's a lot of anger. But the thing with my character, who's Siddharth, is he's kept it all inside. So I had to live with that throughout the shoot. I couldn't express it out. I couldn't shout it out. I couldn't.
There's no expression even in the movie.
I mean,
it's not direct. It's not explicit.
It's not explicit. It's not in the way you can expect a gangster or like a criminal to do. This is a normal guy. So he's kept the darkness inside him.
But the things he's saying is because of the result of the things he's kept inside.
It's kept inside. So just keeping that inside, keeping that anger, keeping that angst inside it gets to you. It gets to you, man. Like, it is insane. I was not expecting it. And that's what I learned throughout this film. And every project I approach differently. I don't have like a base method ki aise hi prep karenge. No. Whatever the project demands, I will go with it that way. And one thing I've learned is like, you know, a lot of actors say I'm getting into character. Something I'm exploring now is, no, you don't get into character. You let the character get into you. And that's a whole different ballgame. So that's what happened with Vritta. The directors are beautiful people. They're young. They're hardly 30 years old, and they're first timers as well. I'm a first timer. We're all first timers. So we shared a great chemistry on set, and it built to something we did not expect at all. We did not see a all-state release happening at all. We thought it's going to be like an OTT or something, but we also made it that way because we had faith in the film and in each other. And the way I got the film is also pretty funny only. Like, I did not...
Came easy, came hard, the opportunity?
It came very weirdly.
Okay.
I don't know easy, hard what it is. But they approached me and they rated this. And I told them, I probably was the first guy to ask them, okay, what have you guys done? And I think that's what they liked. Like, okay, this is a guy we can work with. Because they got like some 4,000 applications apparently. I didn't even apply. And everybody's too desperate to become famous. Everybody's too desperate to make it. And when they see a guy who's not desperate to make it, but he loves the craft so much, I think
they realize there's something.
There's something. So, and I realized that in them as well. You know, they were so ambitious and they were so passionate about it. I'm like, I can't say no. And this is something I want to explore. I want to see if I can do it. And they say I have, and I hope I have. Maybe the audience will decide. So that be it. But these guys have really focused on the technical side of the film. The sound of the film is insane. It's insane. Like, and by sound I mean sound effects, the BGM. They have paid attention to every little aspect of the cinema. It's not just story and performance and, making a matte film. Whatever goes into a film, sound, visuals, lights, pauses, silences, movement, everything has been paid attention to, because Likith, our director, is somebody who loves cinema, and that's what we share. We both love cinema more than anything. First, we are cinephiles. We love watching films and appreciating them. So the way he's used sound to tell the story, and the way he's used the visuals to tell the story, it's a very weird sort of a narrative. It's not like a typical formula-based script. It's a little different. So it's a hit or a miss, but mostly a hit. So let's see.
So only releasing in Kannada?
Yeah, it's gonna release only in Kannada as of now, but they have plans, let's see, for OTT after and stuff.
Your Kannada is good?
Not so much, man.
Not so much. How did that go?
Not so hard. I mean, I've never had a problem. You give me any script, I'll take it.
So you learn it.
I learn
You can pick it up.
I can pick it up limited to the script. The thing is,
So what's required, you can deliver.
I can deliver. You give me Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada. That's been good. Thank God to KV. I've dealt with a lot of
Oh
languages.
shit, yeah. See, KV comes through.
Oh, dude,
KV
I am
comes through.
I am not kidding. I think I truly dedicate a big part of my acting talent to KV, because I grew up with people from all over the country. And if you can make good use of it, right? I did not know I'm going to become an actor, but I picked up their accents and their cultures without realizing it. Their food and the way they live, the way they think. The way a UP guy thinks is very different from a way a Karnataka guy thinks, and you need to know that. So when you're going, you pick up a script, it just comes, things come a little naturally to you, but it's not so natural. It's years of nurturing.
Years of nurturing.
It's
Years of being open.
It's years of being open to the world. It's years of being curious. Right? It's years of being vulnerable. So Kannada came, and unfortunately my Kannada is not so good. I'm a Bangalorean. My mother tongue is Dakhni. It's Urdu, but Dakhni. And I talked that at home, and I went to a school where Kannada was not taught in KV. Sanskrit padhate hain udhar.
I know.
Kya karu main uska?
I had many friends.
So Kannada was a little hard. It was a little challenging in the start.
You didn't get judged for not knowing it?
I will get judged now.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Now, and I'm gonna.
You're not only gonna get judged, you're gonna get like
called out and this and that, and I'm like, fine, dude, you guys stick here.
It's gonna happen. Yeah,
it's fine. It's
gonna
okay.
happen.
I'm not worried about that, because I think I've done some justice to the role. I picked it up. I can speak Kannada. I can converse in it. See, the way I'm talking now, the way I'm sharing my thoughts with you now, the way I'm conversing so smoothly, that I can't do in Kannada.
Of course you can't.
So,
I get it.
That's the thing.
And it's a risk they've taken on you, because
They've taken a big risk.
They've taken a big risk, right? Because now that you say it,
and I have a lot of respect for them for that.
No matter how good you're going to be, no matter how good you're going to be, there's a part of the audience who will not watch it.
Yeah. They'll not watch it because I'm a nobody.
Yeah.
I'm a nobody.
No, not just that, even the language.
Yeah.
Right? And that just reminds you of what is the definition of art for the average Indian.
Yeah.
And that breaks your heart.
In some way, I don't blame people for what it's worth. I appreciate the audience for what it is, because it's not that simple. The film world is not so organic. Getting people to the theater is not so organic. It's very different. There's a lot of things that go behind, and we are still navigating that, because we thought, okay, we'll just make a film and we'll do it. But that's not how it works. There's PR, there's this, there's fab, there's clout, and there's a lot of things. Like, so I feel, you're getting somewhere, we're kind of getting over it.
Yeah.
Because there's no point being purist about Kannada, about language, because a language is language as long as you have respect for it, as long as you respect the culture, which I do. I've worked with a lot of Kannada people. I've met and sat with a lot of great guys. I've had the opportunity to sit and learn from Girish Karnad himself and all of these guys. But I feel this stage one barrier. No, Kannada gottilla. Gottu. But ನಾನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಯಾಕಂದರೆ Bangalore is a cosmopolitan city. And there are people from all languages. That's the beauty of Bangalore.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel also the reason Kannada cinema until this year, which has been great for Kannada cinema, I feel, it hasn't had the reputation of Malayalam cinema or Tamil cinema for that matter, is because of this is because we haven't embraced our cosmopolitan nature. We haven't let more people come.
Yeah.
We haven't been more welcome.
And they're ready. And people are ready.
People are ready. You call them. अगर मैं हिंदी में बात करके कोरमंगला व्हाइटफील्ड जाके बोलूँगा भाई कन्नड़ा फिल्म बनाई है मैंने, आप लोग आओ देखो सबटाइटल्स हैं आपके लिए, वो आएंगे. अगर मैं उनको बोलूँगा नहीं हम कन्नड़ा में बात करें, कन्नड़ा में, वो क्यों आएंगे? Why will he come? Okay, he's a part of the city. We are a part of the city. Let's embrace that. We want to. I mean, this year a lot of directors who worked like that. I mean, Sapta Sagara, Dachilo was a phenomenal film. Amazing film. It is probably my favorite Kannada film of this year. I saw 3 great Kannada films this year. One was Achar & Co. Lovely film.
Amazing.
And Sindhu is somebody I did my second play with. She's a genius.
We've been trying to get a Sindhu, open your DMs.
Yes, please. I will.
Yeah.
I will pull some.
She hasn't opened the DM, dude.
She's famous now. She's busy. Let her be. Like, she's soaking it in, man.
I watched the movie. I went to.
I'm really happy for her.
But you're gonna get a call.
She's an actor. Like, when I saw her first, she moved me. Like, oh my god, we had a scene and dude, she shouted on me so much in rehearsal room because I was a junior that time and I was doing the lead with her. And I am not able to do something. Like, I'm a little shy. I'm like that. She's no nonsense, dude. She's a senior. She's a hardcore actor, and I'm so happy for her. I auditioned for Achar & Co. I didn't even know it. When it came out, I'm like, oh yeah, this scene I remember auditioning for.
Shit, what for?
I auditioned for one of his brothers. Yeah, Jaggu.
One of the brothers.
Yeah, so long back.
Oh yeah, I can picture you in one of those roles. Like, I think you would have pulled it off.
Yeah, anything vintage, man. Come on, I love that.
You could have pulled it off. Yeah. Shit.
Another film that blew my mind was Hostel Hudguru.
Oh, I haven't watched it.
Oh, please watch it. Dude, it is meta. It is insane. The DOP of the film is a character in the film. Like, it's breaking the fourth wall constantly.
Oh, really?
It's trippy. And it's hilarious. And there's some really funny guest appearances. But Sapta Sagara, when I saw it, I had tears.
It's fresh.
It moved me.
Yeah.
I felt like I'm watching an old Mani Ratnam film or something. I was so moved. I fell in love with Rukmini and I fell in love with their love. I fell in love with Rukmini and Rakshit Chetty's love. Like, it was so, the longing was so real, and love is
very real.
Love is political, dude. Love is political, dude. It is, man. Like, society can fuck it up, it's crazy. And the side B was also insane, and I was so excited because Chaitra was in it. And when we were working, she was telling me about it, about how it went by. I was like, okay, I'm very थोड़ा like, क्या चल रहा है मुझे नहीं पता टाइप, ये फिल्म में like सब लोग बहुत अप टू डेट रहते हैं ये फिल्म वर्ल्ड में, like नेटवर्किंग बहुत चलती है, सब क्या हो रहा है मुझे कुछ नहीं पता है. I have no idea. I will come to set, I will do my lines, I will go, like, I will chill with my boys, I'll chill with the directors, I'll make some random jokes. I don't understand networking, bro. I don't get it. I'm like, dude, you know what, let's go to this party, वो सब आ रहे हैं, let's go to this party, वो सब आ रहे हैं. I'm like, खाना दारू मिल रही है, ठीक है, like, मतलब पॉइंट तो वो है ना पार्टी को जाने का भाई, कोई नए लोग मिलेंगे, खाना मिलेगा, दारू मिलेगी, और तुम लोग जा रहे हो, नहीं यार चांस मिलेगा. I tell you one thing, chance, actors will do everything but act. They'll do everything but act. उनको लग रहा है नेटवर्किंग, बॉडी बनाने से, ये सब करने से मिल जाता है. अच्छी बात है, करो, मिल सकता है, बट बेस तो एक्टिंग ही है ना, वो कर लो पहले. I was in Bombay. I was attending Mukesh Chabra's workshop, and he told the same thing to everyone. All these people are flipping. That's where I met Rajkumar Rao also, by the way. And
how was that?
It was crazy, dude. What a chill guy. What a chill dude. Like, that's
so
what I'm
people
saying.
have told you look like him.
Yeah, some people told me that. Yeah. Some people tell me I look like a lot of people, but somebody has mistaken me for Arjun Das at a party.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Because of my voice, apparently. And I'm like, okay, I'll take a picture with you. And
nice.
Yeah, so
no, I think it's man, I just hope, some of these things, right? And I'm just glad you're aware of where the movie stands. I think the issue is when you do a lot of work and you're not really aware of the scope.
Yeah.
And then you get mind fucked.
Yeah.
Right? If you're very well aware, then you're okay with where it goes.
Yeah.
Because you're aware.
We're all okay with it. All okay with it. We have a good feeling about the film. There's no doubt.
That's nice.
We have a good feeling about the film because the only thing is, I'm not worried about how people are going to respond to the film. I'm not worried about, hit hoga, flop hoga. Who am I? This is my first time. This is our first time. We're entering the industry. We're here to tell people that we're here to stay.
We are here to stay.
We're here to stay. And that's going to happen. Trust me on that. I know for a fact that after watching this film, there's going to be a buzz in the industry. People are going to watch it. There already is.
Yeah.
I'm already getting some offers for other films. People just know that I'm working on a film. They haven't even seen
Sweet.
it. So we are here to stay because the kind of work we are doing is from the love for cinema. We are not putting any funda here. We are not putting any formula here.
Yeah.
We're not here to become
There's
famous.
no other intention.
That's not the intention. That's not the intention. But we have a good feeling about the film because it's new. I'm new. The way I act is new. I don't think people have seen that. The way Likit is directed is new. And the way Yogesh has written this is new. It's new and it can have a good impact on next year's cinema. Hopefully so. The only thing I'm worried about is I have 2 months to promote the film. What if I didn't try enough to get people to the theaters? That I don't want to feel. I don't want to after the release I'm like, shit yaar, maine और लोगों को बोलना चाहिए था और promote करना चाहिए था, because this is not something I enjoy particularly as such, but now I'm enjoying because it's new. I'm sitting with them, I'm strategizing all the marketing with them, we're all doing something or the other together, and everybody's asking me, तू क्यों कर रहा है, तू तो actor है, तू chill करना सब करेंगे. I'm like, नहीं bro, it's my responsibility as well, because it's our first thing together. We must, we have each other's back. We need that. So
yeah, I think one way you can look at it is, and this is something that I've realized with a bunch of things I've worked on, right? And I used to hate promoting things, no matter what work I do.
Yeah.
But I think over time when I started working with a team, I realized that it's also about them.
It's about them.
It's also about your duty to ensure that.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's
there.
If you get that, then you start.
And I'm a little over that, bro.
Yeah.
Promotions are nahi jisko aana hai dekhna hai. I'm like, nahi yaar, a part of the art is that people come watch it. What is the point of it if it's not translating to the audience?
Yeah.
If there's nobody to watch it, what's the point of making this?
Yeah.
So it is gonna happen. We have a good feeling about it. We just hope something works out, like before the release. I know it's gonna work out because the songs are about to come and they kick ass. Like
nice.
We have like a whole rock song for a title track.
Sweet.
And it's insane and it's in English, and we have a beautiful Kannada song coming up, and Harni is also in the film. She's so Chaitra and Harni are in the film.
Okay.
And
about Chaitra.
Yeah, Chaitra is in the film, Harni is in the film, and Harni is a Tamil actress and she's phenomenal. And she's very special to me. She always will be. So I'm very excited. So
it's a mysterious team.
It is a very mysterious team. It's a very mysterious team.
It's a very mysterious team.
It's a very mysterious team.
Exciting, man.
It is very random and it's worked out well. It's worked out well.
I think people will see it.
It's all work, but it's fortunately or unfortunately, you're going to be seeing mostly me for the 2 hours of the film. It's one guy.
Yeah.
It's one guy
I
throughout.
think it's going to be a trip.
It's a trip and a half. It is a trip.
We are looking forward.
Definitely a trip. Yeah.
So thanks,
Pritha,
man.
yes.
Thanks for coming here.
Yes, thank you so much for having on. I feel like talking to you more and more. I know, like we have some
I think
limitations and stuff.
No, there's no limitation. But
we had to put an end to it.
Yeah, I think this is good, and I always say this, right? And trust me, you're not the only one feeling that, because to be honest, there were so many things on today's episode that I can spend an hour.
Yeah, we can. I know we figured that, but of course we had to get on track and stuff. But
realize like the fact that we're not going to leave you here, right? Because we're going to come back to you.
That's good.
And we're going to keep coming back to
please,
you. And
please, gladly.
We've said this time and again, and we continue to say this, that we're here to document your journey. We're not here to do like one fucking episode.
Yeah,
because
that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, a decade later, I want to be in a place where I want to produce a documentary just on your name. And just out of content
I hope I live up to that.
Yeah, man, it can come through. Why not?
Why not?
I mean, you've been, if you ask me, you've been genuine, you've been honest.
Thank you.
You've been open. And you're very aware of where you are.
Yeah.
And we keep like discussing, saying, what I think we've started to track the formula for success. Okay. Not for ourselves, but for the people we meet.
Okay.
So, because see, this is basically 84, 85?
Yeah.
85. And, after you meet 85 people, you kind of figure out there are some things that are 100% going to work.
Achha.
Because this is like science, bro, for us.
Yeah.
Right?
I get it.
And then, I tell him, bro, this guy is ticking most boxes. So this is going to work.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah,
You
bro.
think so?
Like, I'm not even kidding, dude. Like, and I'm being honest here, right?
you
This
so
is how
much.
we think of
I hope
things.
so.
We are
That's
like, okay,
great.
what is it? What is it that's needed to make it, right? And then, like, of course, that formula is going to change for us as well, because we are going to evolve with time. But up until now, we are like, okay, be you be honest, you be genuine, you be aware, you're open to meeting people. You're smoking some good shit. No, not that.
Of course. It is a formula for success. If you don't want to kill yourself, I don't know if you want to make good art, you have to find the blood.
Definitely. Smoking some good shit.
Yeah, I love
along
smoking.
with everything else.
Yeah.
I think some of these things, and then I said, I think this is going to work, and I feel like there's a lot of things you're doing right. But life's not kind. That's the other thing. Life's not going to be kind always.
That's the fun part.
But if you stay through that,
That's the fun part.
if you stay through that, and if you look at it like that's the fun part. It's inevitable. The success is inevitable.
Inshallah.
I think post that. Yeah.
Yes.
So thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
Also thanks to Jerusha, I think.
Yeah, thank you, Jerusha.
Yeah.
Helping me out.
Yeah, Jerusha came through. Jerusha
came through.
was the one who suggested it to us. But again, we are very happy we did this.
I'm very excited. This is like my first interview for the journey that lies ahead for the next 2 months for sure.
Yeah.
And so that's why this is going to be very special.
Yeah. Not just for the next 2 months.
More than that, I'm more excited for what we're going to talk about after this podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, I swear, fucking. Anyway, thanks, man. I really appreciate this. Just keep killing it. Have this, life will keep trying to close people up, and you got to continue to stay open, right? And just keep that same fucking thing alive. And mainstream will try to change you, and mainstream will try to edit you, and you got to just somehow stay the same.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where it's going to work. If you change,
Don't fall for it.
yeah,
Don't fall for it. No, that's not going to happen.
somewhere then you become.
If it would have happened, it would have happened, I feel.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's too easy, dude. It's too easy. I've seen people in front of me flip.
Just flip.
Yeah, flip and like, pura, like, ye, wo, make it, ye, wo, fame, vagera. I'm like, it's not gonna happen. Dude, I went to Bombay. I went to Bombay for a month, and I met all these guys. And I saw people within 2 weeks lose their shit. And nothing happened to me. And that's why I was the only one called for an audition after.
Yeah. There you go.
That's how, that's just
They'll come and they'll go.
They'll come and they'll go. So people see that, people see work, people see honesty, and people see mutual respect.
That's enough.
That's all. That's just enough. No entitlement, no nonsense.
None of that.
Having a good time.
Yeah.
Chilling the fuck out. That's good.
That's the formula by Maahir.
Making good art.
Making good art. Keep making good art.
Watching good art.
Live in the art.
Live in the art, yeah. And just don't be entitled about it. Like, nobody gives a shit. Like, honestly.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody
Yeah,
gives a
actually,
fuck.
that's the other thing. Nobody gives a fuck.
Shit, and they don't have to. They don't owe you shit. The world doesn't owe you shit. Guys, actors especially, they don't owe you anything. Okay, you chose this. You do it good. Okay, do it good. Go do some plays. Go watch some plays, man. Fucking hell.
Stop fucking waiting.
Stop fucking waiting for the big thing.
There's nothing.
It's not an overnight thing. It just doesn't happen, unfortunately. If it's happening for you, it's great. You're lucky, but probably you're very good looking. I'm not, so I had to act. You know?
Maybe you have a sugar daddy, but that's...
Trust me, dude. Trust me. I don't. I wish I did. Dude. I've looked it up. I really want to, like... I hope, like, can somebody buy me a bike? Like, I really need one right now. Mine is deteriorating. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll just try to act good and make a film and buy my own. I'll see.
Yeah.
I'll be my own sugar daddy.
There you go. The lesson from the podcast is be your own sugar daddy. Yeah, we'll make a t-shirt out of that.
Be your own sugar daddy. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah. It does.
Love, it's basically a different way of saying self-care. Be your own sugar daddy, dude.
This is lovely, man. Thanks for making it here.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much.
Kill it. And yeah, if you have watched till here, let us know. And of course, watch the movie.
Watch the movie Vritha, releasing in the end of Jan. in all theaters near you with subtitles. So don't miss it. Vrita.
Don't miss it. A lot of efforts go in. I think we underestimate the power of a movie and how much goes into it. So watch it, respect it, enjoy it. And this was Maahir for y'all. And this was episode number
Thank you.
85.
Adarsh, and thank you, Aditya. Amazing time.
Awesome.
Let's go have a cigarette. Let's go have a fucking smoke.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one.